This time around, it's time for one of our favorite pastimes of the year. The f are you doing here? Wrong holiday. Halloween. And what you see here is what we're going to do. Not you. You got a piece of styrofoam here. John's piece of styrofoam. What are we going to make? We're going to make our very own tombstones. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to show you how it's done. What I got here is some junk pieces of styrofoam, and what this piece was originally from is one of those styrofoam installations that you can get that's 8 foot by 4 foot, like at Home Depot, Lowe's, or any other place, which costs about $10. This is a 2-inch thick piece, and which is fine because I'm going to double it up and make a 4-inch thick tombstone. But what you can also do if you don't really want to design your own is you can get the cheapy ones at the 99-cent store, or if you really want to splurge, you can move up to the Dollar Tree and you can literally just glue their piece on top of this and then cut along it and refinish, kind of repaint it or redo it the same method that we're going to do here. But one of the most important things we're going to need, the most important tool to deal with styrofoam, is not a knife, because then you'll have snowballs everywhere. What you need is like some type of hot knife. There's many tutorials out there on YouTube on how you can make hot wires or your very own hot knife. I just went ahead and went to Harbor Freight and got this sucker. It's only $20. Heats up real fast within a minute. Let me show you the kind of blade. The blade is about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's got a nice thin point on it and a little depth gauge and a temperature setting, and of course a button. You hold the button down, heats up, let go, and it's off. And it heats up pretty quick in about a minute. So the way I figured it, 20 bucks for this. Just trace cut it around, and makes it easier than just doing my own build of it, because you'll be spending about that much, and if not more, on little parts on building yourself, and you gotta figure out the time that it takes to build the damn thing. And if you fuck, well, you just waste a lot of time and a few bucks. So I just bought that. We'll see how it goes. But I guess if you want a free nice finer detail cut, then you would need a hot wire setup or something. But back to this part. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go freehand a tombstone idea. Probably start with the basic one. Just gonna go ahead and use a Sharpie, and then we'll just cut it out and put it out on another piece of this, trace cut that and glue it together and go along from there. Don't need to really explain step by step, trip over a couple steps, fall down backwards on this part. So with the magic of push the damn button and then push it again, I'll have an outline already on it, and I'll show you what I came up with for tombstone number 1. I have plenty of pieces, so I'm going to do multiple ones. So, but we're just going to go ahead and start this little project. Well, I got a simple, basic tombstone shape. It doesn't get any more basic than this. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then trace cut it on another piece. So we're going to glue it, and probably do some more like that, and have all these ones pretty much glued all together, let it glue overnight, and then we'll do what is known as the monster mug process. So let me cut this one out with my hot knife. And well, you know what, before I actually do that, let's go ahead and see how well this thing does. I'm going to try and do this one-handed because I got to hold the camera at the same time. So let's go ahead and maybe move this like that. I'm holding the thing, maybe get some weight on here or something. After all, it's only styrofoam. You're wondering why I have a piece of ceramic tile. Just because the second you turn the button off doesn't mean this thing's going to be cold. So you want to have a place to set it if it's hot, and the piece of ceramic tile is great for hot items. So I'm going to see how well this does. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I have this set to full heat, which goes up from 1 to 5. So let's just go ahead. Oh yeah, this is like butter. I'm probably doing it at an angle because I'm holding this in. You know, I don't want to dive it too deep because I can't see the blade. But it actually cuts pretty good. Has that burnt foam smell though. Oh yeah. Let it go. Yeah. Sealed it too. I can tell it's at a little bit of an angle, so when I glue a couple pieces together, probably use this and just go ahead and cut it all in one thick chunk just to smooth it. Or yeah, I wonder how this will work if I just turned it on. Oh yeah, I could just shape it like that. Alright, I want to go ahead and cut the other side off. I don't need to hold this, and I need to explain it to you about that. We'll do that and I'll be right back. Alright, now we have two identical cut halves. But what I should also explain that we need to do first before we glue it is we need to actually put in some stakes on where you're going to stick it into the ground. There are different ideas and different materials you can use for this same issue. Well, sorry, not issue. For what you want to do to hold it in the ground, you can either make a wooden base and drive some, like, I don't know, pins or something through it. What I'm just going to do is I have some of these little metal hooks that I got, and I'm just going to kind of use my heat gun and put it and melt it in through here on one side, and then later I'll just go back and cut the other half off so it's just a point to the ground. And these are pretty stiff, so that's what I like about it, and they're kind of long. Other things you can use is you can go to the 99-cent store, or you can upscale and go to the Dollar Tree again. If you know what I'm talking about, which I don't even know what I'm talking about, so I apologize to no one for that. Where you go in their little crappy ass garden section in the 99-cent store, upgraded Dollar Tree, you can get like one of those, like those little flower bed barrier things. You know, they look like little wire arcs, whatever. You just stick into the ground just to separate, to keep nothing out, really, even though they don't work shit for what they're supposed to be. Just get the little wire one, you know, kind of lay it on here. Of course, leave enough of the little spikes or whatever. I can't even know what the heck you want to call it right now. If you want to tell everybody what it is in the comment section, please go ahead. And don't call me a retard. I'll call myself a retard. Okay, you can call me a retard. But when you do that, you just kind of lay it in there. I would actually probably, you know, kind of trace out the shape of it. Like what no need to trace this out, it's a straight line. But if, let's say you have one of those curved ones, just lay it on there. You could trace it out. Or you can get a can of spray paint or something, like black or something, and just go mist over it a little bit with the thing on and take it away, and the little spray shadow will leave the outline, and you take your heat gun and just do a little groove just to make it fit in there. But what I'm going to do is, just to help, you know, keep it from coming out, I'm just going to just do a little dive cut and just shove this in there, and if it tries to come out, it's just going to pull through the styrofoam. So an example of that is, let this thing heat up. Probably just do it, say about 4 inches away, probably a little bit farther out to give it some space. A little dive cut, you can see it. It's not quite hot yet. Okay. Pull. Actually, maybe let's just do it like this. Use this flat edge. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, little groove in there. See if that fits. Oh, I need some more. I need some more. Oh, actually, no, I don't. And then what I'll take here, let's pull that out. Do a thin, just a thin cut, about the thickness of it, like, ooh. Okay, see how that works. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna do a second one right here. Let's see how we do this. Roughly about the same. Heat up the gun. Probably a little hot already. Okay. Score it a little. Second one. Alright. So it's kind of flush. So then all I'll do is I'll just glue the sides together. Press it down. Put some weight on it. Let this one dry overnight. And I'll just go ahead and cut these off because they won't stick in the ground with these. And be right back and start fabricating some more of these things. Okay, got some glue on it, and I forgot to mention, you might want to research what kind of glue you want to use. I'm using wood glue. What I like to use is Titebond 3. Really good stuff, waterproof. In other words, 1 okay, 2 better, 3 fantastico. So that works with styrofoam. It won't melt it. Some other glues just won't. Some people say use hot glue, but you got to think about it. I just used heat on this thing. What to do? It melted right there. So why would you want to use hot glue? So I guess Elmer's glue would be okay, but I'd probably use this. And you know, they also have glue specifically for styrofoam. So I wanted to bring that up too. And also, it's good to actually also have wood glue for this type of project, because when we go into the monster mud making, one of the ingredients I'm making it is what's kind of optional, but I'm going to do it because of waterproofing, is to add some wood glue into the mix. But you're going to need a lot, especially if you're making a bunch of tombstones and like this. So I suggest getting a big one. Never have enough wood glue. I kind of also substituted when the kids want to make icing for a cake. Nice little surprise in the morning. Alright, so I guess I get to show you this part, which I really wasn't intending to, only because I forgot to tell you about the glue. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and line this up better and set it off to the side, put some weight on it, and freehand a few more and kind of make some of that, and I'll show you what I've got after I start going through all this It's, in other words, this part is wash, rinse, repeat. Draw something out, cut it out. What we'll kind of also do later is, in other words, like right now I'm just doing the basic shape of a tombstone. Then we'll go back and kind of do something really neat on it. But let's just make our shapes first, and we'll just take it one step at a time, going down 2 steps down a flight of stairs. All right. I think I'm going to show you a little tutorial on, while we're doing this project, on cutting this thing out with this tool. It's actually, coming to use it, it's actually pretty cool. It takes a little practice getting used to do some fine details. I already made one that I can kind of describe it as Ozzy Osbourne's tombstone, or if Batman, or when Batman is dead or something. But that one's are glued and set aside. You'll see it eventually. But this one is like, you know, has a little intricate pattern, whatever, that kind of drew up in freehand. But one thing about this one here, so if any of you decide to get this one, and like I say, it is pretty cool. It is pretty neat, and it does take a little bit of practice. But once you get the hang of it, it's okay. What I did is, on this one, I just took a piece and I already kind of pre-cut with it, so some of the excess. But what we have to do on this tool here is, let's just say for straight lines. So let me try to get this in position, and yet I have to do this one-handed. I'm already holding it down, getting it hot. You want to you can either dive in or take it on the very edge, but you want to stay about 1/4 to 1/2 inch away, because once the heat contacts with it, with the styrofoam, it's going to shrink. So if you cut it on the line, it's going to end up being more inward. So you want to stay away and then go into it. So like this. I'll go ahead and do this one on the edge because it'll be on the edge, but over here I'll show you diving, what's like when it's diving. But if you see, I'm like kind of away, because one thing you can also do is you can take it on the flat edge and literally push in, and you'll get a thing like that. That's kind of like how you could do intricate stuff, but you want to kind of start away and then guide it to the edge a little bit. Stay away from it, because as you see, it shrinks to the line. Let me just get that little thing off there. Let's see what I got. Okay, start away again. And what I kind of do is I start away, but I push a little bit to my line and then pull away back if need be. But you want to remember, it kind of shrinks a little bit. Remember, this is just a line cut. Now I'm probably going off at a little bit of an angle, just because I'm showing you how to do this. And you can cut that off, use it, same thing. That's how to kind of like do that. So now here's how to kind of do stuff like this with radiuses and stuff. So what I'm going to do on this one here is just dive it in away, and just go all the way out. And if you need to remove pieces, then do it. You know, when we look at the gap it leaves in there. I'll do the same thing here, start away. Here's another little trick I've kind of figured out. I'll like go in the middle here and literally just kind of swing it a little bit. You can do good radiuses that way too, if you just swing it. You really do want to stay away, because you can use the back end of it to help. But if you're like thinking of it as like a pencil, you gotta remember this thing's like about an inch, 3/4 to an inch thick of a blade. So that's the real trick, is kind of stay away and work into your project and not just go too close from the beginning. And I'm even taking this cut like wide on the back side. I mean, you can see how wide that is, but it's a nice clean radius cut. Same thing here. Just my piece here. Okay. And yet I'm doing this one-handed. Camera in hand, hot knife in other. Just waiting to cause an accident. No, haven't burned my finger yet, or my face. Just don't hope that happens. Let's hope I cut the right circle out. Let me just kind of do that already. Okay. Alright. Cut that piece off. Get rid of that junk. The other good thing about kind of staying away is giving yourself a little bit extra. If you're doing this type of tombstone project and you're going to double up like I've been doing, I'm leaving a little bit kind of fat, which I'll end up showing later on a finished one. But basically, just imagine two pieces already and you have a little overhang and you have a little bit of your line left. You can just clean both of them up together, so because that way they'll all look uniform and flush, like you cut it as one piece, which you're basically still kind of doing. You're just cleaning and sharpening your edges up. You're just fusing and melting them together, actually. Alright, set my hot knife on my ceramic tile. I know with my drawings it's kind of confusing, but we'll just do it like this. A simple little basic design, basic shape. And of course, like I said before, I'm going to go ahead and just put this on another piece, trace it out, cut another one, and I'm going to leave that one just even a little bit fatter than this one. Glue them together, and when they're dry, we'll just take that same hop knife, use the edge, and just kind of like go along the edges all the way around together on them, make them all uniform, sharpen them up a little bit if they have points, which I know the one that I did before has points. We'll get into that one later. That one's kind of a little bit of a surprise. So that's a quick little tutorial on this thing. I recommend it. I'd go get it. Just take a little practice, grab a couple pieces first, make some, really weird designs and practice with that first. I wish I kind of did that before I did the other one, but I did it so where it could be like, somewhat fixable. I mean, there's really not much of a problem, but my little thing I should have done was leave my pattern on a little bit fatter, then clean it up. But it's okay. It's not that much of a big deal. So that I'm going to go ahead and continue on and